Hello everyone, it's another year, 2020, can you believe it? Some of us that go back far enough remember the year 1999 moving into the year 2000, Y2K, and we all wondered what's going to happen at midnight. Well, guess what? 20 years later, and we're still here. The one thing that I have come to see in life is that things change. And there are seasons that we walk in and go through. But I just want to share a few of my thoughts as I, between Christmas and New Year, was reflecting and looking at the year 2020 and making plans. What the Spirit of God began to speak into my life is, while it may for myself not be so much about change in some things, it's about getting clearer vision, 2020 vision. What is 2020 vision? Well, in the natural, it means I don't need glasses. I can clearly see. I don't need any assistance. But when I don't have clear vision, now I put on glasses with lens. And these lenses help me to be able to see clearly. But God wants to bring us in the spiritual to where we're not being propped up and held up by other identities and things. He wants to strip those things away so we can have clear 2020 vision. And Proverbs chapter 16, I think, or verse 9 says, a man's heart makes plans, but the Lord directs his steps. My question to you is, have you made plans for 2020? If you don't have a plan, then God has nothing to direct in your life. So I hope you've made plans, what you would like to see in 2020, and then let God direct your paths. There's a quote that I came across last week. Andrew Law says, unless you are prepared to give up something valuable, you will never be able to truly change at all. Why is that? Because you will forever be in control of the things that you can't give up. Think about that. If you want things to change, are you willing to let go of something of great value? Because if you don't, then you're in control of what you don't let go of. If you want things to change in your marriage and you think, man, I'm not going to let go. I just wish my wife would change or my husband would change. Guess what? You cannot control them. You only can control yourself. And so let things you determine that you are going to change. And you change your attitude. Take the beam out of the splinter out of your own eye. We see what's in other people's eyes and lives, but what about what's in our own eye? You can only change yourself. And I had to think of 2020 vision from this perspective. Joseph knew his purpose, he knew his destiny. It was to be a ruler, and he knew his call. And so he is walking in life, and all of a sudden he's got this coat of many colors, made his brothers angry and upset. And he goes to see his brothers, and they see him with this coat, and they strip that coat from him and they throw him in a pit, sell him as a slave, thinking, we got rid of him. All we got to do is convince Dad, and so we'll put blood on this coat. Guess what? Joseph ended up in a pit, bought and went as a slave into Egypt. There he was falsely accused. And there he ended up in a jail. Many of us do not like when God puts us in pits. But understand that God is using the pit because he wants to change us. He wants to bring clear vision to our purpose and our identity. And in order to have 2020 vision, whenever you give up, this is why that quote so challenged me. Whenever you give up something valuable, Joseph, he gave up a valuable coat of many colors, lost it, but he gained a robe of royalty. Think about that exchange. What are you willing to give up in order to get clearer vision? It may be friends. It may be a habit. I'm here to tell you, you are a royal priesthood. You're a part of a holy nation. You're not defeated. God doesn't want you to walk in defeat. You are victorious. And you live from that identity, not trying to be that. Live from who you are. And so my prayer for each of you this new year of 2020 is that the plans that you've made, first of all, that you've made plans, and then secondly, that you give those plans to God and say, God, now direct my steps. Here's what I'm envisioning. Here's what I see. Here's where I see my purpose is in life. Now you direct it. And you'll look back at the end of 2020 and say, I had to let go of some things in order to get that clear vision. I bless all of you with 2020 vision for who you are and your purpose and destiny of why God has you here in this year of 2020.